I'm Jordan Miller. I'm a senior mechanical engineering student here at Indiana Tech, and I'm graduating May 2021. So mechanical engineering interested me because I like to tinker a lot. I would say growing up, I had dirt bikes, motors. I just really enjoyed that aspect, and I have grandparents that were mechanical engineers, and a lot of what they did and what they've done sounded like something I wanted to get into in the future. So what initially brought me to Indiana Tech was one of the judges at my entrepreneur competition was actually a representative from Indiana Tech. They were really interested in what I was doing and just innovative ideas and helping students develop those ideas. And so that's where my initial wanting to go to Indiana Tech came from. So kind of what my senior project is about, I'm taking an existing 3D printer and I am Frankensteining tool changing technology onto it, as well as modifying it slightly to be able to print high temperature plastics that is used in industry. In my project, a lot of the main components, you start with the control board, so it's the brains of the operations, where the software lives on it and what controls it. Down from that, you have your stepper motors, which are just motors that provide precision positioning. Then you have your extruders and your hot ends, that's what pushes and extrudes the plastic. One of those hot ends is liquid cooled, and you can think about it kind of like your car. Your engine is hot and you need to circulate water to cool it, and it cools through your radiator. On top of that, we have the tool changing. So the tool changing, you have the tool plate with the hot end on it, and then the tool head will come and pick up that tool. Each tool, depending on what you get, can print different materials. And so tool changing, you can intermix all those advantages to certain materials within the same print. The reason I picked this project was to kind of stretch myself in design and the making of a printer and the newer technologies within 3D printing and applying those to a printer that I would create. So splitting up my project over the 2 semesters, Senior Project 1 and then Senior Project 2. Senior Project 1 is really kind of research, diving into what do you actually need to overcome the requirements that you've created for this project. And so research needs to go into materials I select. And then Senior Project 2, basically we get all the parts in and then you start building. Along with that, you have your presentation you got to get ready for. That's going to be in front of some industry people to ask questions about your project, and you have to meet with your professors and make sure you're on track. And just manage your time wisely while you're creating the project itself and building it and creating the necessary documentation for it as well. I think one professor that's helped me out the most, and the one that I've looked to for a lot of wisdom, not just on my project, but with accepting my first job and the intricacies within that, would be Professor Craig Welch. One of the difficult problems on this project of estimating how much heat goes into my water loop, how big do I need to make my radiator? Well, how do I estimate all that? He came up with a couple ways to think about the problem differently, helped me think through it and apply that. And ultimately, that's what helped me in the project and got me over that little hump that I was stuck on. So I owe a lot to him. I think the most rewarding part of this project for me was the control boards, getting the firmware loaded onto them and seeing it all start to function in harmony with getting fans turned on, getting the water pump running, getting the heater running. Little things like that are just little wins that make things exciting, and they're battles you've won. So over my 4 years here at Indiana Tech, just all the courses, the important coursework, senior project, and all the things it's taught me. Walking across that stage, finally getting that diploma and being able to walk into a full-time job, all that's owed to Indiana Tech, everything I've learned and the opportunities that I've been able to take advantage of. It feels really great to finally be at that point.